Hey everybody, it's Vincent, and today I'll be going over the basics about sharing your media from your computer to your Xbox. Now, as you may have noticed, I'm running a completely different setup from what I used to run. I used to run Vista. Now this is a Windows 7 computer I recently bought. Now, one of the first things you want to look at is your system settings. Now, I'm running a 6 gig RAM i5 processor with 2.40 gigahertz Intel processor. Now, basically what I just said is that it's a pretty fast computer, especially with the RAM. And if you don't know what that means, it's a random access memory. The more RAM you have, the faster your computer will run. Next thing you want to look at is your network. Now, the basic network is that basically you have your router, which is right here, your internet, and then the PC. Dotted lines here means it's wireless. Straight lines means it's wired. Now the switch here you see is a Ethernet AC adapter. What an Ethernet AC adapter is basically plugging up a wall, a special little machine that runs through Ethernet. Basically, it's making your wires an Ethernet cable. Now I use that for my Xbox to get better gameplay and to send media from my computer to my Xbox better because my router is pretty far away. Now that's another thing that you need to look up on that part is, excuse me for a second, I still have a cold here, is the how well your internet is on its wireless or wired. Best way to find out is to go right here and go to your network and sharing and look for these little lines. Mine is all green, so I'm fine. Exit out of that, and the next thing you will want to look at is this right here. Now, I pretty much listen to just about everything. That's the reason why you see country and all the other stuff. Now, this is also another tutorial on how to do your system sharing with your Xbox. Pretty much I always go to more settings, and you'll see this part right here. Now, the one I showed you before was on a Windows 7, the first one that came out. It wasn't the 32-bit or the 64-bit. Mine's a 64-bit, which when I looked on here, and I didn't have my Xbox on, it didn't show up. Really, the only way that the Xbox will show up is if you turn it on, and if it doesn't show up then, you need to basically go into your Xbox, go to Pictures, Music, or whatever you have. Click on it and see if it pops up with your computer. Try accessing it, and of course it won't allow you at first, so then it will pop up on here for you to authorize it. And pretty much all you would have to do is just click allow. You're also able to customize it on however you want it. Another good thing that the Windows Vista had done is when I go over to my stuff in my library, all this stuff was from my external hard drive and is still on my external hard drive. And we got everything from Halo Legends, which is in an iPod format, to Halo Legends WMV, which is in a Windows Media video format. Which, whenever I wanted to play stuff to my Xbox, I would always put it in a WMV file because it wouldn't play with an iPod file. But that stuff's actually changed. The reason why I say that is, if you go over to Properties on these videos, you'll see it says MP4 video. That means it's an iPod format, or in another case a different type of format as well. But these videos will go straight into my iTunes, while these ones that were made for Windows Media Player will not go into my iTunes. But I have found out that Windows Media Player, the one number 11, for the 64-bit computers will allow you to play these videos onto this player. And whatever plays on your Windows Media Player will play on your Xbox. So traditionally, I no longer need to keep the WMV folders anymore. I could delete them. But for safekeeping, I'm just going to keep them since I have so much memory on here. That's excuse me. That's pretty much the fundamentals of it. It's really basic when you think about it. I'm just putting in a better perspective for some people. And as for this unknown right here, I'm running 2 switches, so that's the reason why. And it's also because of, give me a second here. Here we go. You will not see this part right here. This part you will not see because I'm running something called VirtualBox, which I have a Mac operating system on here as well as a Windows 7 on here. Basically, I'm running it through a virtual system, which is like a computer into a computer. And one more thing before I forget. Even with a large amount of RAM, one other thing you do have to consider is the fact if you are downloading a big file, like say this one, this is a 4 gig file and I'm still trying to download, having a little bit of problems with it, it will slow down your internet a lot. It will slow down your Xbox Live, it will slow down your, excuse me again, it will slow down your computer itself only on the internet basis because I have 6 gig RAM. So that's another thing you might want to consider. If you don't have a lot of RAM, it's not going to work all that well. I know Vista requires 2 gigs RAM and Windows XP requires, I believe, 500 and some megabytes. I'm not positive on it. But again, I'm running a 6.4 millibit connection. No, yeah, somewhere around that range. And yet I was still not able to watch any videos on my Xbox because of this file being downloaded. When I paused the file, then it was able to download again. But that's pretty much the basics on how it works, and just some other things that you need to know about, because most of this stuff I figured out on my own, and this way you don't have to figure it out or say that you think your computer is messed up. It's not. It's just how the system functions. And to be honest, Windows 7 seems to work a lot better with the Xbox than Windows Vista or Windows XP. That's just my opinion, but I've had experience with all 3 models now. Anyway, this is Vincent from Wolfline Productions. Look forward to seeing you all in another one of my videos. Okay.